Rated Gen Z, where real talks get real. Each episode dives deep into the minds of 18 to 24-year-olds, exploring their dreams, struggles, and perspectives that most people never hear. We're diving into the chaos that defines a generation everyone talks about, but nobody actually listens to. This isn't just a podcast. This is a generation speaking. Welcome to Rated Gen Z Podcast, Ben.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, I would love to preface this because I don't think a lot of my audience realizes that my guests, a lot of them, I'm meeting them for the very first time or really talking to them for the very first time, like on
Yeah,
my
exactly.
podcast. And I love doing that because I want people to see that it's really not that difficult to talk to teenagers.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, yeah,
But
100%.
Ben, since I don't really know much about you, I'll let you
hmm
go ahead and do an intro.
Perfect. Yeah. So my name's Ben Nordgren. I'm 18 years old. I'm a freshman at Michigan State University. I live in California. I'm in around the Bay Area, in between San Francisco, San Jose. And yeah, I'm a kinesiology major, which is basically like exercise science, how the body reacts to movement, stuff like that. I'm also a certified personal trainer. I love going to the gym and working out and also teaching others and using my knowledge for good in that environment, in that workspace. And so, yeah, I'm just really excited to that business has only really just begun. So I'm really excited to see where that takes me. Um, and just kind of, yeah, just build off of that. I also enjoy cooking a lot. I love food. My mom's a chef. And yeah, it all kind of blends together in one happy life.
So let me ask you this, Michigan State, because that's far from
It is, yeah.
California.
Yeah.
Was Michigan State always on your radar?
Yeah, I get that question in different variations a
Yeah.
lot, like, oh, why'd you come here? Stuff like that, because a lot of people that live in California, they like to stay there.
Well, the warmth,
But no,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's pretty far. It had always been like top three, top five on my list. When I was looking for schools. I was thinking a lot about like big sports environment,
hmm
but also like great education. So like a really good balance of that. A couple other top schools were UConn and TCU. I didn't really apply in state. I wanted to kind of get away from California. I grew up as an East Coast kid, so like half of my life,
What part?
I was in New England. So I was born in New Hampshire, lived there for about 4 years. And then I lived in Connecticut for another 4.5. So I was always kind of born and raised in the East Coast. So that's kind of where my roots were. So I feel like Michigan's a very good like kind of in between meeting, not all the way over there, but still like has a very similar environment. And yeah, they also have a top kinesiology program. It's one of the largest in the
Oh, wow.
nation, which was very a very big plus for me. Um, and yeah, it just kind of all everything kind of fit together, and this just was like pretty much the obvious choice. It had everything I wanted and more. And it's like a second home over here. I'm really glad that I'm here.
Well, I respect the fact that you grew up in the East Coast and and West Coast, and then you chose
Yeah.
something different. I admire that a lot because when I was applying to colleges, I only applied to schools in Southern California because I had this fear of being away. And
hmm
I kind of regret it because all my friends did the opposite. My best friend, she went as far as she could go to Vassar up in Poughkeepsie, New York. And I had another friend in Boston, and everybody went like East Coast.
hmm
And I kind of was a chicken. And the irony is that I ended up living on the East Coast after
Oh, really?
UCLA. And that's where I
Yeah.
got married, raised my kids. So my kids are East Coasters or from
Yeah.
Virginia. And then now I'm back in San Diego. So I kind of did it the
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
opposite.
yeah, you kind of reverse that. Well, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are the Spartans, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You guys didn't do very well in the tournament this year, which was a bummer, right?
In what
In the
sport? And
March Madness in NC.
we
Yeah.
we did pretty good. We
Oh, did
made
you?
it.
Okay.
Yeah, we went to the Elite Eight.
Oh,
We
you did.
lost.
Okay. See, I wasn't
Yeah,
following it this year because
yeah,
there really weren't any upsets. And then the fact that all the
yeah,
number one seeds were in the final four, I was like,
yeah,
yeah, this isn't as exciting as it should
yeah.
be.
You might be thinking University of Michigan didn't do as good.
Okay.
They went out a round before us. But no, yeah, we were pretty happy with our spot. Like we all obviously wanted to go all the way, but we kind of like in the back of our heads, we knew we weren't really gonna be able to win it all. But no, yeah, we had a really good basketball season. Our football was not great at all this year.
Yeah.
Um, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, basketball season was great. I watched a few hockey games. Our hockey team was really good this year as well. Um, but yeah,
Interesting. Do you have a favorite sport?
right now, like I'm pretty torn between basketball and football. I played football in high school. I played basketball as well. I like football a little better. I'm a Patriots fan, so
Oh
that's
gosh,
that
my
like
son is too.
yeah. I grew up spoiled in the Tom Brady era. Um,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
my
then
son literally grew up he was born in 2001. And isn't
oh
that the
yeah,
year
yeah.
that he was drafted? Or was that the
Um,
year that he was starting or something to that
Something
effect?
like
But
that. Yeah, I think he might have been
yeah.
drafted in 2000.
And then maybe it was
Um,
2001 that he actually started
yeah,
playing. I joke
yeah,
around that he was born out of my womb as a Brady fan
yeah,
somehow.
exactly. Yeah. No, but yeah, I'm more on the football side. Basketball, I love basketball too, though. I didn't really get into basketball until I moved. So I moved to California in 2015, and that's when the Warriors dynasty really began.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of spoiled like that as well with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
Yeah. I went to school
But
with Bob Myers.
oh, really?
Yeah, I mean he's the reason for all of that. Yeah, we
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
lived in the same duplex. We were
Oh,
neighbors my
wow.
freshman year, and then my junior year we lived in the same house. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, so it's also too the irony that he was a walk-on
Oh,
at
really? Yeah,
UCLA. Yeah, and then he was
yeah,
part of the
yeah.
95 team that won the last time that they won. And then here he ends up like, yeah, building a dynasty.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah.
It's
So
super cool.
I'm kind of a spoiled sports fan, and obviously I like the Celtics as well. They've been doing great
Yeah, they
recently.
have.
Yeah, I
So are
enjoy
you, oh yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, I was just saying I enjoy any sports really. Anything that's on the TV, I'll watch. But yeah,
Yeah. No, that
what
was,
were
and
you
I was
saying?
asking, well, no, I was asking because I was wondering, being that you are, the kinesiology major, did
Kinesiology. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And you have your own business that you just started. Is that a goal of yours to work for an athletic team?
Absolutely. Yeah, you
Okay.
you hit it right on the
That's what
nail.
I
Yeah.
figured.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so right now I'm obviously a certified personal trainer. I'm gonna be working at a local gym over this summer. But yeah, so right now the first thing is just kind of getting clients, building up that
Yeah,
reputation.
credibility and everything.
Exactly, yeah. And then my like the biggest dream goal I have is to be like this strength and conditioning coach for like the Patriots.
Well, just put it out there. Put it out there. I know people in the
Exactly.
NFL, but you just never know.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's the end goal if I could have any career. But obviously like I enjoy like that work environment so much that like I would be totally fine like if I was a personal trainer the rest of my life, I would be totally fine with that. I would be thriving. So just anywhere in that realm would be great. Um,
That's
but yeah, like
awesome.
I don't want to have tunnel vision and focus on, oh, I need to do this or I need to do that. I'm want to have an open mind and just kind of see what paths come upon me and just kind of let it ride, see where it takes me.
Yeah.
And
No, that's a
yeah,
good attitude. It's okay to have like an ultimate goal, but know that the path that is going to get you there is going to be a little bit windy,
exactly.
up
Yeah.
and down. Sometimes you're going to
Yeah.
think, "Oh my gosh, like I'm totally off this course. Like what do I do?" And it might be a little discouraging here and there, but then you just get back on course and then
Yeah.
you'll find that like if you just at least like said, have kind of an end goal and just, but yeah, an open mind, that's important.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was something as a kid, always just kind of you knew that this was what you wanted to do.
I mean, I would say I'm more kind of grew into this like really like senior year. But like all of my life really revolved around sports, and so I always knew that like I wanted to be somewhere like around sports. I was thinking of like sports journalism for a minute. But then I realized I didn't like writing that much. Um
Yeah.
but yeah, like I've always been like my family, like I have an older brother. We've played sports together all our life, basically. So yeah, and I just kind of knew like I wanted to be somewhere in that environment, because that just brings me a lot of joy. But yeah, I never really set that path of like kinesiology and training until really like midway through senior year. That's when I would say I really got committed to that. Um, which was I was really satisfied once I decided on that, because like once you have like a set goal and like something to work towards it, I feel like it makes a lot of life a lot easier, because like you kind of don't have to think about like, oh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Stuff like that. Like it just brings your stress level down a couple notches, which is
True.
great.
Well, it's fantastic that you were able to discover that at an early
Yeah.
age
Yeah,
because,
I got lucky.
yeah, there's a lot of kids, or not even kids, young adults your age that are like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. So
Yeah,
there is something about that that is a little bit of a calmingness,
yeah, yeah. I see that a lot. Just not like just kids like don't really know what they want to study, or have like a bunch of different careers they would want to go into. But yeah, I kind of got lucky with being set on what I want to do at that early point.
Yeah. So, what caused you, or like starting a business? Because that's difficult too. And you already have
Yeah,
a
so
website and everything. So that's
I do,
impressive.
yeah. Thank you. So yeah, I really got into the gym like junior year. That's when I really started taking it to another level. And then I obviously like wanted to learn more about just how to maximize my efforts. Um, and that's kind of what prompted kinesiology. And both my parents went to medical school. They're both doctors. My mom's always telling me she really wants me to go to med school. But just the human body really fascinates me, and I feel like it's great knowledge to have, like knowing how your body works. I feel like everyone should have a decent understanding of like what's going on. Um, but yeah, so that really took that, and then combined that with the gym. I just felt like, oh, if I have all this knowledge about like kind of how to maximize my efforts in the gym, how the body works, I could put that to good use in helping others who don't really have, um, who aren't as fortunate with this opportunity to really learn more, or just who are kind of lost in a sense, and they don't really know what to do when they're in the gym. They kind of feel like aimless in a sense. And I feel like I could totally like I feel like I could totally be that helping hand. I feel like I definitely have those traits to help others in the gym, and kind of, yeah, like be that kind of guide and showing and spreading my knowledge. Um, and yeah, and what better way to do that than becoming a personal trainer and kind of reaching out to people through my website and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I'll definitely have put the website in the info so that people can check it out. But I
Awesome,
love
yeah.
that you said that you want to help people and that you understand that there's some people that don't know enough. I mean, I know I'm the type of person, even though I taught yoga and cycle for years and I taught at
Hmm.
the gym always intimidated me. And to this day it does.
Yeah,
So I don't go to the gym. I do more
yeah.
like right now I'm doing club Pilates.
Uh-huh.
And but yeah, the gym, I don't know why, it just freaks me
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like everyone, or not everyone, but I see a lot of people who like both online, like on like Instagram and stuff, and in person, who are just like kind of afraid of the gym and afraid of those like really big dudes who are like flexing everywhere. Like that's totally understandable, but like everyone like in the gym is like super welcoming, and I kind of want to be that, like open that door and
Yeah.
say like, oh, it's not as scary, or it doesn't have to be as scary and intimidating as it really is. And because it's exercising, and just even if it's just once or twice a week, it's so beneficial to the human body and to life in general. So I feel like the more people that do it, the better. I heard this one quote once. It was from a YouTube video. This guy, his name's Dr. Mike. He said, um, "I just want everyone to be jacked and rich in life. That's all that matters." And it was pretty funny because I feel like if everyone's jacked and rich, that might solve some problems. Um, but no, yeah, like the gym doesn't have to be a scary place, which
Yeah.
is, but yeah, like I totally understand why people would think that way. But yeah,
So
I
let
want to
me
be,
ask you this. I mean, obviously I don't want to like have you give, free advice and and all
yeah,
of it,
no,
but I would love to hear as someone, your age and your perspective right now, like what are kind of the most important things that someone who maybe is just starting out on their exercise journey can focus on? I mean, do you
yeah, I
have
mean,
advice?
I feel like the main thing is just know your body and know like what you enjoy, what you like. Because obviously, if you're in the gym and you're doing exercises that don't feel right or that aren't really fun, um, then obviously you're not gonna have a good time. You're not gonna really gain anything from that because a lot of it is mental.
Mhm.
Um, and so yeah, I recommend just finding exercises that really work you out, work you hard, but also like you enjoy. Like if you really want to do cardio, but you don't really like going on the treadmill, then maybe try the bike, or maybe try like just going on walks outside and in nature. And like yeah, like not everything has to be in the gym as well. Like you can just be doing some push-ups and pull-ups at home, and like going for a good walk with your dogs or something. If you do that every day, that's just so beneficial. Um, but yeah, like if you're really trying to start out, I would recommend getting a good variety of um, exercises and just really trying new things. And yeah, just finding what you like, what you enjoy, and yeah, just not being scared of anyone or anything in the gym, and just kind of having an open mind with it.
Yeah. Do you see like, do you follow people online that are kind of like fitness gurus, or do you kind of go more the traditional route when it comes to following advice from, the
I
older
try to,
generations?
yeah, I try to limit like like the amount of like fitness people and like a bunch of like bodybuilders on my page and stuff like that. Like I'm on Instagram a lot. Because one thing in the gym is like this one quote that I like to live by is comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes, I
So
like that
like
quote.
if you're in the gym and you're comparing yourself to like these bodybuilders on the big stages and stuff like that, then you're obviously never really going to be satisfied with like your own body unless you're one of those jacked guys. Um, but yeah, I try to follow like the people I do follow. I make sure they're like credible sources because I know there's a lot of like misinformation and
Mhm.
people kind of confusing and contradicting themselves with information. Um, and I also like make sure that they're good people. Like I don't want to be following some guy just because he's jacked, but it turns out like he's
He's not
kind of a
the best person.
douchebag. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like people with positive outlooks on life, um, and that spread a positive message. Like there's people in the fitness industry who just do it because they're jacked and because they look good in certain angles. But there's also people who try to like you like kind of what I'm trying to do, which is just use my knowledge to kind of be that guiding hand to other people who aren't really as fortunate. And so those are kind of the people that I try to like look up to, and that I enjoy seeing. And people with a good sense of humor as well. Like I don't if I'm like watching a video or YouTube video, I want to have a good laugh. I want to have a good time as well.
Yeah, no, I know when I had a personal trainer at one point, yeah, I had to make sure that they had a personality because if they were going
Yeah.
to kick my butt and make me do things that I didn't want to do, I'm like, at least be funny about it, at least have a good sense of humor, at least like let's
Exactly.
have fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can understand how important that is
Yeah.
too.
It's funny you say that. My mom, she does workouts with a trainer at my gym, or the local gym, and yeah, he kind of kicks her ass, but also she like they have a really good time, which is really important.
Yeah, that's super important. It's
Yeah.
speaking of good time, like so you said that you like to cook too outside
I
of all.
do.
So do you have like a favorite dish that you make? Are you famous for anything in
I
particular?
I'd say I'm most famous for just my like chicken and rice meal prep. That's usually like
Oh,
my go-to for anything. I really like mashed potatoes. Those are probably my favorite food.
yum.
They're a little harder to cook. They take a bit longer. But yeah, like Thanksgiving, Christmas dinner, you'll see me with the big pot of potatoes and
Okay, you're
boiling
the mashed
water.
potato guy.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, I also uh I like grilling burgers a lot. Um, I'm on the grill a lot with steak and yeah, steak burgers, chicken. Um, but I really like just really anything that tastes good, honestly. Um, but yeah, I'd say the thing I cook the most is definitely chicken and rice, but I'm working on expanding my repertoire with that.
Does your mom give you any tips and advice in the kitchen, or does she let you kind of just experiment?
I mean, yeah, at this point, it's kind of I've kind of branched off and experimented on my own, but there's like cooking's almost like a science. And yeah, my mom went to cooking school, so she knows everything really. So yeah, I I used to like when I used to cook, she actually this is really funny, short story. Me and my brother, if we the rule was to get a phone, we had to make a main dish, a side dish, and a dessert or something. It was something along
It
those
sounds like a
lines.
school project.
Exactly, yeah. So when we were like 13, we already knew how to, we had like already had a couple recipes in our chamber that we knew how to
Mm.
make. But no, yeah, my mom's been uh one of my main like cooking teachers. So whenever I have like, there's always some questions I'll have for her that I'll pester her with. And yeah, so she's been a big teacher and influence on my cooking skills for sure.
Yeah, well, you and I know each other because your mom and my friend and
Yeah,
neighbor are really close. And did they go to cooking school together? Is that
yeah,
how they met? Okay.
yeah.
Well, I have to say that Maria, it's dangerous having her as a neighbor because she's always coming over with everything that she's cooking. The other day, she made Persian rice for the very first time. So
Oh
she called
wow.
me up and she's like, come over and try it. And she's just constantly baking and cooking. And yeah, so it's definitely a perk
Oh
to have
yeah.
her right
Exactly, yeah.
next door.
Yeah.
But you also said that your parents were doctors, so is she also like a physician as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah, so she's a physician. She's in pediatrics. And my dad doesn't practice anymore. But he's kind of more on the business side of Sutter Health.
Okay.
So yeah, they're all kind of intertwined in that whole medical world.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
dad's a doctor. That's why I was asking. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
nice.
still
Yeah.
practicing though. He's going to be 80 this year and he
Oh,
still
wow.
has shares a private practice
Good
with
for
a
him.
couple
Yeah.
other doctors. Yeah, but I kind of joke around and I'm like, Dad, I don't know how many people want to see an 80-year-old doctor. Like, no offense.
Yeah. What kind of doctor is he? Does he?
Well, he's an internist. He was doing cardiology for a year now. He's just primary care.
Oh, I see.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what he loves to do.
Awesome. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's a
Good for him.
workaholic, so it's like hard for him to imagine himself like retiring because he's like he doesn't have any other hobbies. I mean, he
Yeah.
goes all in with his patients, so
No, yeah,
that's
for
going to be
sure.
a tough one. But
Yeah.
I love that you are basically like you have the cooking gene in you and then you have that physician gene in you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what else? Because that's pretty you sound pretty well rounded.
I mean, yeah, I try to uh just soak up like almost like a sponge, just kind of as much knowledge as I can. Um, but yeah, I feel same with going to the gym. I feel like cooking is kind of one of those skills that I feel like everyone should have. And it'd be great if everyone knew a couple dishes they could make at home. Because it is really fun. I feel like, and the satisfaction of like making a meal for an hour and then you take the first bite and it's just delicious. It's just
Have you
awesome.
ever thought of like
Um,
starting a YouTube channel for you just do like the basics?
Maybe I've never really thought of that, but now that you bring it up, that could be
I think that
uh
would be different, Ben, because
yeah.
I feel like there's too many people out there that come across as like, I know everything, I'm the expert, and they just kind of maybe their image isn't as like real as, and I feel like
Uh-huh.
you would be someone that so many people your age would relate to if you
Hmm.
just were like, hey, these are kind of the basic things that I've learned,
Yeah.
and you just do it in a way that's really kind of
Yeah, yeah.
unscripted, and I don't
Yeah, for
know, I
sure.
feel like you could be onto something there.
My mom would love that too. She's very so I think I get a lot of my like sociable traits from her. So yeah, we could have like a mother son cooking YouTube channel.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome. And then you could
Yeah,
maybe incorporate too, like some exercises that you could do, like that's just at home. Look, I okay,
exactly, yeah.
we're gonna have a talk about this because I might have to get you with my social media strategist too. And so,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I think this could be something for you
Yeah, that
to
that that
incorporate.
that that sounds like fun for sure. Yeah. I
Well,
know
that's
my
the
mom.
thing with your generation is that everybody's like YouTube channels and online. And I just feel
Exactly.
like we need more of people like yourself that are just really real and are doing
I
it for the
appreciate
right
that. Yeah.
reasons. And just like you said, like it seems like your values and everything need to be aligned, and that's a good thing because
Yeah, yeah.
I believe a lot of people think that your generation are losing like what it means to have values and morals and empathy and
Hmm.
compassion, and it's not the case with everyone. And that
Yeah, yeah, for
you're the
sure.
perfect example of someone that you don't
I
fall
appreciate
into
that.
that
Yeah.
label.
Yeah, I'll definitely bring that up with my mom. She'd be so excited to hear that. Yeah. I think
Yeah, I
she'd
like
love that.
no, but and that's another thing too is I feel like there's more and more opportunities nowadays with everything of like parents doing things with their kids and families
Yeah,
coming together. I feel like
yeah,
social media has been a positive in that way, where I do see
yeah,
a lot more like
yeah,
families
yeah,
doing
yeah. Like
things
there's
like
no
that.
age limit. Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I think it's just bringing back that sense of like it's okay to hang out with your parents and to like them and
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
want to do things with them. It's not like uncool.
Yeah, yeah,
Where I think
exactly.
maybe in the past maybe it seemed uncool. I don't know. I mean, it seems like you have a pretty cool relationship with your parents.
No, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was actually just thinking about this last night because yeah, it's weird being 2,000 miles away from the people that raised you for 18 years. But no, yeah, me and my parents have a great relationship. I talk to them as much as I can, really. I'll probably call my mom later tonight,
Yeah.
maybe my dad too. But yeah, my parents, I would say my parents have been like my biggest inspiration. Like my dad is really hardworking. Like he's always, not always, but like he late nights at work and he's uh just like always kind of on that grind.
Yeah. Well,
And I see
dedicated
that.
to his craft.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, like I think that for him and for many parents in general, like I feel like their hard work sometimes goes like a little unnoticed or unappreciated. Um, and so like even though like I don't tell my dad like, hey, I noticed you're working a lot. I'm proud of you for that. Like I definitely see that and it definitely motivates me to like go to school and like kind of work my hardest in class. Because like it it just like they've provided me with so many opportunities and it motivates me to want to be able to do that for my kids in the future. And then yeah, like my mom is probably one of the nicest women ever. She's loves talking to people, so I think that's definitely influenced a lot of my social life, and kind of how I live and how I am with other people, and that's shaped a lot of my personality. So like it kind of all blends together into who I am as a whole, which is awesome.
That's so beautiful what you just said. And, when your parents hear that, they'll be
Yeah,
so
yeah,
proud and so
yeah,
happy. And that's another thing too. I feel like we assume that the youth, they don't appreciate their parents like they should. And you're just another example of like, no, a lot of them do. And
yeah, yeah.
and our kids pay attention.
Hmm.
I think a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
times we think that they don't, but
yeah,
that's where I believe a lot of the actions speak louder than words. So just you
yeah,
seeing your dad being hard worker and your
yeah,
mom being social and kind to everyone, that
yeah,
had a huge impact on you, a positive impact. So hopefully that kind of reminds parents who are listening to this, because there are parents that do listen to this as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I think you are reminding everyone how important it
yeah,
is to just do your best.
yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, I think the relationship people have with their parents is kind of unique because, or just family in general, because your family, especially your parents, like they're really the only people in life that want to see you do better than them, which is really
True.
hard to come by. So yeah, I do my best not to take that for granted every day.
So do you see yourself like having a family in the future and all of that? Like, do you already kind of think about that? Because
I do, yeah.
I mean,
It-
college, you could easily, I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm not going to like pry into your, personal life, but
Yeah,
college, a lot of people meet their partners in college.
yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I definitely think about that a lot. Especially recently, like thinking about like, oh, well, I've lived on the East Coast, I've lived in California, I basically live in Michigan half the year. So yeah, it's definitely thought about like I've definitely thought about where I want to kind of settle down,
Yeah.
who I want to settle down with. Yeah, I definitely want to have kids in the future. And I'm also very excited. Because yeah, my mom she loves like babies. She loves just like holding babies. So I know like once I have a couple kids of my own, she'll be super happy about that. But yeah, I'm trying to take that a little slow to like not
Yeah.
rushing
Oh
that
yeah, definitely no
for
rush,
sure.
but I
Yeah,
do know that this tends to be the age when you're in college when you start kind of thinking a little bit more about, that part
exactly.
of your future,
Yeah, 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 for sure.
but it is good to take things slow.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I don't want to. I'm already going to class a lot and doing my business. I don't
Yeah, in
need
your
other
business.
things to worry about right now.
No, but that's great. Well, I absolutely loved just talking to you and hearing your perspective. And I do feel like even just what you said is going to surprise some people once
Hmm.
again when they hear like how you view your parents and your
Hmm.
work ethic and just all of that. I think it's great because it's like so contrary to what a lot of people are
Hmm.
saying about your generation in particular. So this is, I love, telling people like, it's
Yeah,
not the
yeah, for
case.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, is there anything else that you would like to share before we close out?
Um, I think if I had one thing to say, I would just make sure that people always have a smile on their face. I feel like a lot of times people kind of let small things bring them down too much. So yeah, I think just appreciate the little things. And yeah, tell your loved ones you love them. And yeah, just be happy as much as you can. So that's one of the main reasons why we're on this earth, you know.
What a great attitude, Ben.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, I needed to hear that on a Sunday morning when it's gloomy out and
Yeah,
it's
it's
like it's going to be Monday
cloudy out here
tomorrow
too.
and overwhelming. So I love that you have that outlook on life too, and hopefully
Yeah.
that reminds people that it's important to
Yeah.
be
I
grateful for even the
I
little
do my
things.
best. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is
Well, that's a perfect way to end this podcast, Ben. So thank you
Thank you.
so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it's been a blast. I'm excited for what's to come.
Yes, me too.
Perfect.
Bye.
Awesome. Have a good one.
If you enjoyed this episode and you're between the ages of 18 and 24 and would like to be a featured guest, go to rock.vision.